Welcome back. For the third year in a row, the Douglas Anderson School of the Arts is offering an immersive songwriting program that teaches everything from the craft of writing to recording and performing original songs. Here to tell us about it, we're joined by John Citrone, songwriter instructor at Douglas Anderson. Good morning, John.
Hey.
We're also joined by songwriting student Avriana Lundy. Good morning, Avriana. Thanks for coming.
Hi, good morning.
So, John, this is was created as something for vocal majors within the program, this songwriting track. We talked to you about it a couple of years ago when it was just kicking off.
Mhm.
So give us a little progress report. How is it going? What has the reception been? And how has it, if it has changed at all, how has
Sure.
it changed?
Originally, remember we had Natalie Hyder here the last time I was here, and she was the music director at the school, and she approached me and said, "Would you like to start a songwriting program?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And at that point, we had to come up with a place for it to live, and so that was under the vocal umbrella, and we had to include certain things that you had to have as prerequisites. So that was like electronic music, music theory, piano one. These things kind of came into play, but it was by itself, just songwriting. That was the class. Over the last couple of years, we've kind of generated an idea of what it needed to include to become a major. We're not there yet, but we are calling it a minor now because
Yeah.
there are several other classes. Right now, we have the songwriting class, of course, and we have songwriting 1 and 2 now because we have second-year students. We've got contemporary music history. We've got arts business, which is really an interesting thing that we can talk about. And then the satellite class would be Mr. Reeves teaching recording, and I, of course, still have electronic music. So it's starting to blossom. We still have a way to go before we can call it a major. But those are the things we've added, and it's kind of evolving in that way.
So I'm guessing that is growing in part because you've had a lot of student interest. I mean, the goal of this is sort of to give students who want to be songwriters all of the things that they can touch on to kind of help them understand what that career might look like and how to progress in it.
Correct. This year, I've got between 12 and 14 students. It changes about midway through. There are students that are added and moved. But we started out with like six kids in the class. So we've literally doubled the number of kids in the class. We're hoping to generate that kind of interest in the rising eighth grader market. Because if they don't know that program is available, they don't know what to do to prepare. La Villa is one of those schools where they have a really strong vocal program. So we'll go visit them and talk to some of the students who show promise either as lyric writers or singers and try to generate some interest in that way. I'm looking more for promise than for the actual skills. What can we do to shape the things that are kind of hiding in those students?
And so we've got Avriana here, who is one of your students, and she didn't necessarily come from like a hardcore arts background. She's an athlete, and she sort of arrived on the scene. Tell us a little bit about what it is in her that has shown promise to you.
When she first came into my class, it was last year. It was halfway through the year. It was electronic music, and she would leave class halfway through to go to basketball practice. And though I admired her commitment, I was like, you got work to do in this class. Let's see what you can. And so I didn't really see the promise that she showed. When she got into my songwriting class, I was predisposed to think, okay, she's an athlete, probably not really into the whole songwriting thing, but she's given it a shot. And she just blew me away with her first song. Her command of melody and how it works with her chordal decisions is what really struck me. That was her first song that she ever wrote. A lot of kids, when they come into class, they might have command of how chords work together because they've had piano and theory one, but they don't know how to create interesting melodies over those chords.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other kids who can sing melodies, but they don't understand the harmonic relationship between chords that they have to put them over to create a song. She's got it on both levels, and that's what really surprised me.
And so, Afriana, I mean, when he says you've got it on both levels, do you think like that when you're writing a song? How does it come to you? Are you thinking like, well, this is the melody and this is the chord progression, or are you just sort of envisioning it as
Yeah,
as a piece?
I just envision it like it comes naturally to me. It's kind of like something that I've always like I guess just had. Um every time I'm making a song, like I just hear the music like in my head and I envision it and then that's when I make the song what
Is
I
it
want.
the kind of thing that you just even when you weren't in a class structured like this, would you have songs come to you through prior to this training?
Um, No, yeah, I would just have it come to me. It's just something that kind of flows like naturally, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to listen to, this song that we're talking about, your first song. It's called "Beautiful Chaos."
Mhm.
But before we do, just set it up for us for a little bit. What should we be listening for? What does it mean to you, this song?
So when I wrote this song, I was in my room and I was just thinking about how I was going through a lot of things like that were coming at me. I'm a senior. Um I have like some colleges. I'm trying to get everything together, and it was just like a lot of ups and downs, and um, it was just kind of chaotic. That's why beautiful chaos. And I was trying to find like the good in that, and that's really just what to look for. Find the beauty in a difficult person, a difficult time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a listen. We kind of pick it up in the middle here, but we're gonna listen and then we can talk more about it.
Okay.
Running around, lost track of time, and it's feeling like it's almost over. It's the fact that the sky is pink and blue. When I say that I hate you, but I love you too. And I am too tired of fighting. This gravel's too quiet. I can't quit now. Ooh, stars are shining. Think I'm liking this beautiful chaos. Will these feelings drift away? It keeps coming and coming back in cycles. This beautiful chaos. I wanna be wherever you are. Loving it ain't easy.
So a really complicated
Mm.
melody there and rhythm. And so what was most challenging about putting that song together for you?
Um, the title. So when I when I made the song, I was in my room and I wanted my mom to come in and like help me with the title because I could not get the title. I know I was feeling this emotion, I was feeling these feelings, but I wasn't able to pinpoint that title. So my mom listened to it and she was like, this sounds good, but like it's beautiful, but it's kind of chaotic. I'm thinking beautiful chaos, and I was like, wait, like yeah, this is how I'm feeling.
Mhm.
So that was the difficult, probably the challenge there was the title of the song. Everything else just came kind of naturally.
And so, John, when students are bringing you music and expressing things that are about their life or very personal to them, I imagine that you have to sort of be careful in your own critique so that
Hmm.
you're not stomping on feelings or, it- reacting to something that is very close and personal to somebody.
Yeah. Knowing me as long as you have, you know that's a difficult those are difficult waters for me to navigate because I'm pretty blunt. And I can be with the students that I think have thicker skin, especially my second year students. They've been around enough to know that probably a better choice you could have made there, or that melody doesn't work with that chord. Go back and do some more work.
Mhm.
For the newest students or those who I think are really sensitive about their work, it is a tough thing, and I try to. It's hard to guide a person, especially when their intuition is so strong. Like Avriana has her songwriting intuition is amazing. Her background in theory is lacking. So if she decides to pursue this at a higher level, that theory will have to come into play. If I'm trying to explain a theoretical concept to a student who doesn't understand it, that can be very frustrating for them. Like this chord voicing would work so much better, but I don't understand that. I don't understand how that works. So my challenge is not just to soften the blow, but to make it clear what I'm saying in different ways. And so that can be really hard. But eventually, when they see the result, it really is about the result. Once the result presents itself to them, it's almost a light bulb moment,
Yeah.
and all of the fear and anxiety goes away.
This is an audition process,
Mhm.
and auditions are open until
January 30th, I believe.
okay. And knowing what you know at this point, Avriana, who would you encourage to look into this or to consider this vocal track program?
Like anybody from like schools, like middle schools and stuff like that, younger kids, I would encourage them to like kind of look at kind of songwriting options, come visit the school. That would be an amazing thing, experience to have and get like hands-on kind of learning. I'm pretty sure Mr. C would be more than welcome to for that for students.
Yeah,
that are like
and
We
that.
had our night at DA recently. It's when families can bring their kids and they can walk around. They came in. We had a songwriting workshop that we presented, and there was a girl in there. She sat with us the entire 3 hours, and afterwards she said, "Mr. C, I have to be in this program." I
Mm.
think when they see that this is a really creative, expressive environment where they can learn a craft, they get really excited about it. That's what we're trying to do. Is try
Well,
to create some excitement.
it's so cool. Thank you for sharing today.
Of
It's great to hear
course.
your music, Avriana Lundy. John Citrone, thanks for doing it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, a quarterback showcase sends the Jags on an all but certain path to the playoffs.